What just happened in Washington could end the career of Jerome Powell and maybe even land him in prison. Because while President Donald J. Trump is delivering historic relief for American seniors, the man in charge of our central banks has just been hit with a criminal referral for lying under oath about a $2.5 billion luxury renovation. And the receipts are in. Now, this isn't speculation. This isn't rumor. Congressional documents are now proving that Jerome Powell denied luxury upgrades like a VIP dining room, marble finishes, rooftop gardens that were baked into the Federal Reserve's $2.5 billion headquarter project. And yet, under sworn testimony, Jerome Powell, he told the Senate that those features didn't exist, that the cost increases were just minor. He may have just perjured himself twice. So I'm asking you right now, if you're watching this video, if you lied to Congress about billions of dollars in taxpayer money, would you still have a job? Because while most Americans are struggling to pay rent or fill a gas tank, Trump just passed a $6,000 tax cut for seniors and made 88% of Social Security recipients tax-free. And Powell, well, he's upgrading his building like it's a five-star resort on your dime. And here's where it gets even more real. President Trump's economic team isn't staying silent anymore. In fact, they say this isn't just mismanagement, it's sabotage. Trump's bold move to save Social Security, slash taxes, and break the back of inflation is working, and Powell knows it. So why won't Jerome Powell lower interest rates? Why is he choking Main Street while Wall Street thrives? And why is he still sitting in that chair after being caught red-handed? Well, stick with me, guys, because I want to go ahead and break down some key information that just broke the news, okay? It just broke the internet. How President Trump's Social Security masterstroke just exposed Jerome Powell's $2.5 billion lie, why the DOJ is now reviewing criminal charges against the Fed chair himself, and what this means for your wallet and the future of America's economy. And of course, by the end, I'm going to ask the question that every American needs an answer to. Should Jerome Powell go to prison for lying about $2.5 billion in taxpayer money? Well, we're going to get into this because this time, there is no way out for the elites. If you appreciate the daily news updates, please take a second, hit the like button, and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. So let's go ahead and begin with what just shook Washington to its core. President Trump's Social Security masterstroke. Now, President Donald J. Trump just delivered what no other president in modern history has dared to attempt. It was a bold, compassionate, and strategic move to restore dignity to Americans' retirees. Now, this isn't spin. This is real money in the pockets of real people. The 2026 COLA increase, the cost of living adjustment that determines how much seniors get in Social Security, it just spiked again. Experts were stunned. In fact, pundits were caught off guard, and seniors, well, some are cheering. But Trump didn't stop at the COLA. His administration embedded a $6,000 tax deduction for seniors and $12,000 for married couples directly into his economic blueprint. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that 88% of all Social Security recipients over 65 will now pay zero federal tax on their benefits. Zero. Now, if you're receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, comment down below right now. And for a typical retired couple, that's about $1,600 a year right back into your pocket. We're talking gas money, grocery money, medical bills, stability. Now, this is not just smart policy. This is compassion and action. But here's where the story turns, and it turns pretty hard, because while President Trump is delivering relief, someone is working overtime to try and erase it. And that someone is Jerome Powell. Trump gave seniors a win, but Powell, he's doing everything in his power to destroy it. So let's talk about the sabotage hiding in plain sight. Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, is supposed to protect the economy, but instead, he's become the greatest threat to Trump's relief efforts. Despite inflation finally cooling, despite internal voices at the Fed calling for rate cuts, Powell, standing firm, refusing to lower interest rates. So why does that matter? I'll tell you why. because those high rates are a wrecking ball to Trump's entire Social Security victory. And when interest rates stay high, housing costs climb, credit cards, interest rates balloon, loans dry up, and every dollar that Trump just delivered gets eaten alive by inflation and borrowing costs. The truth? Well, Powell's policy is not saving Main Street. It's choking it, and Wall Street cashes in. So, is Jerome Powell protecting the economy, or is he punishing everyday Americans just to block Trump? And guys, we're only getting started, because I want to go ahead and pull back the curtain on this $2.5 billion lie that Jerome Powell told Congress, and the explosive criminal referral that could finally bring some consequences. Now, if you're still watching the show, you do not want to miss what's about to drop next. But first, real quick, let me know that you're with me. Smash the like button, drop a 47 in the comments if you support Trump's mission to expose the Fed and protect our seniors. Now, you don't have to be a Medicare expert. You don't. You just need somebody in your corner. And this is why I partnered with Chapter. They're licensed advisors. They compare every plan that's available to you to help you find what's actually best for you. Now, one of our viewers by the name of Nancy said Chapter saved her $600 a year. I love that, which might actually help her stay in her home despite skyrocketing rent. And then, of course, there's Buck, who's saving $166 a month. Now, I don't know about you, but when Social Security is your only income, that's not small. That is a pretty significant raise. So don't settle for some cookie cutter plan. Give her friends a call right now at Chapter. Phone number's down below at 909-563-8279, or better yet, go to their website right now. I left the link for you guys in the pinned comment, askchapter.org/Ron, and let Chapter fight for you the way that they did for Nancy and Buck. Hey, look, you got nothing to lose and potentially hundreds to gain. Oh, and by the way, did I let you guys know that they're 100% free? Yeah, I love that. So now, here's where this story really explodes. Just last week, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. She's a fierce Trump ally from Florida. She did what most in Washington were just too afraid to do. She filed an official criminal referral to the Department of Justice accusing Jerome Powell of perjury, not once, twice. Now, her referral points directly to number one, Jerome Powell's false testimony before the Senate Banking Committee on June 25th, 2025, his misleading letter to the OMB Director Russell Vought, where he claimed that the cost escalation was minor. I don't think that was minor, do you? But records from the National Capital Planning Commission and Dr. Vaught's own files contradict Jerome Powell's claims line by line. This is not political theater. This is felony level deception, because under U.S. law, lying under oath, especially before Congress, is perjury. And perjury carries up to 5 years in prison per count. So again, why is Powell still in power if he lied to Congress? Are elites above the law? Now, here's the real kicker, guys. The media is barely even covering this. Why? Because Trump's winning, because Powell got exposed, and because this movement proves everything that we've been saying about the double standards in Washington. Now, here's where the pressure really starts to mount. After Representative Luna dropped the criminal referral, after the documents were made public, and after the truth about the luxury upgrades came out, Jerome Powell panicked. He quickly launched a formal watchdog investigation into the Eccles building renovation and internal probe to review how the $2.5 billion was spent. Now, ask yourself this. If he truly believed that he was innocent, why open an investigation? And it gets even more suspicious, guys. Without any press conference or transparency, the Federal Reserve's website was quietly updated to include a video tour of the very renovation that Powell claimed did not exist. That video shows exactly what the documents revealed: the private dining areas, the elite finishes, the upgraded facilities, and the aesthetic luxuries. They didn't deny it. They just hoped that you wouldn't notice. Now, if Powell didn't lie, why open an investigation? Why post the video now? What are they hiding? Guys, this is what elite power looks like. Quiet corrections, buried truths, and zero consequences right up until now. Because the backlash, it's growing. Now, inside President Trump's camp, I'm going to tell you right now, the gloves are coming off. Bill Pulte, who Trump appointed to oversee housing policy, he said it plainly. I am very confident Powell will resign. And he's not alone. Trump-aligned lawmakers are now calling Powell's refusal to cut interest rates and his blatant misrepresentations about taxpayer-funded renovations, they're grounds for immediate removal. Now, they're not mincing words anymore here, guys. This isn't about policy disagreements. This is about betrayal of public trust. And remember, President Trump, he's known for acting swiftly when sabotage is discovered, right? So just ask anyone who stood in his way during his first term. I mean, he doesn't play games with corruption, and he doesn't hand out second chances when the American people are being hurt. So question now becomes, will Powell jump before he's pushed, or is Trump about to make an example out of the Fed's top man? Should Trump fire Powell right now before he causes more damage? Because if a criminal referral has been filed, if seniors are suffering, if Trump's recovery plan is working, then what exactly are we waiting for? Now, America is winning again, and not just in the way that mainstream media wants to admit. While President Donald J. Trump is rebuilding the economy, securing the border, and delivering real wins for the American people, there's a silent revolution that's happening right inside of our financial system. And if you blink, you're going to miss it. Now, there's a little known NASDAQ listed company that just made a move that was just so bold. It's being called the MicroStrategy of Solana. It's not a crypto company. It's not a Wall Street bank. It's a consumer brand powerhouse. And now it's sitting on a $331 million crypto treasury. The company, Upexi. The ticker symbol is UPXI. And if you believe in Trump's economic revival, freedom from inflation, and digital innovation outside the global system, you're going to want to see what the sponsor of today's video just pulled off. So let's go ahead and break it down. All right. So as of July 22nd, 2025, Upexi now holds over $1.8 million, 1.8 million SOL tokens that are worth $331 million. That is making it the largest public holder of Solana in the world. Guys, that's more than Coinbase. This is more than Galaxy Digital, more than anyone. And this just so happened over years. Okay. So this actually didn't happen over the course of several years. It actually happened in just under 3 months after Trump returned to office. Now, you got to wonder about the timing of that, right? So first, Upexi raised $200 million in fresh capital through a creative and strategic offering, $150 million in SOL-backed convertible notes, and $50 million in equity. Now, this means that they raised the capital without selling off their own future. Brilliant. And they acquired the majority of their Solana at a discounted price by purchasing locked tokens. Guys, nearly 58% of their SOL was acquired in this discounted locked format. Translation, they bought low, and now they're up $58 million in unrealized gains. So this is the kind of move that President Trump will call smart business, okay? Now, Upexi is staking nearly all of its Solana to earn a massive 8% annual yield. Now, this is projected to generate $26 million a year in staking revenue alone without even selling a single token. So now they're not just holding an appreciating asset. They're earning income from it every single day. Now, this is the Trump mindset. Make your assets work for you. Now, this is not a crypto company. Upexi's roots are in consumer goods and brand ownership. But instead of sitting on cash, they're leveraging the Trump era financial freedom climate to create a Solana narrative treasury model. And so they're not just investing in crypto. They're bringing Wall Street into Web3. They launched options on their stock, UPXI, on the NASDAQ. Now, they're essentially tokenizing their equity through a partnership with Superstate so that their shares can eventually trade 24/7 on the blockchain. And They joined Weeble's Corporate Connect platform, gaining access to 24 million retail investors. This is what innovation looks like when government steps out of the way and lets American entrepreneurs thrive. Exactly what President Trump promised in his second term. And as of June 30th, Upexi had 735,692 SOL valued at $113.8 million. Now, that's $2.97 per share in SOL value at the time, with their share count around $38 million. So, that is $2.97 per share in SOL value at the time, with their share count around 38 million. Now, by July, that ended up ballooning to 1.8 million SOL. Now, they can now use two custom metrics. You've got the basic MNAV, which is your basic MNAV minus the market cap versus SOL value. That's 1.2x. You've got fully loaded MNAV minus including warrants and notes. That's equal to 2.1x. So this means that Upexi is actually trading at a premium, but the premium is backed by real assets, real yield, and real strategy. And this is rare in today's market. I mean, if you're a believer in digital sovereignty, President Trump's America First policy and breaking away from globalist debt traps, then you already know that companies like Upexi are doing big things right now, because this isn't just about crypto. This is about building a financial system, and they're doing it from inside the NASDAQ. Now, again, the ticker is UPXI, and they're not waiting for the world to change. They're helping to change it. Now, listen, this video is for educational and information purposes only. I'm not an investment advisor, and this is not investment advice. Before investing in any asset, whether it's stocks or crypto or anything else for that matter, you should always do your own research, consult with a licensed financial professional, and make decisions that align with your own personal goals and your own risk tolerance. But if you support President Trump, you believe in American innovation, and you want to see real companies doing some bold things, then keep your eye on Upexi on the NASDAQ under ticker symbol UPXI, because the next could be the beginning. All right, now, here's where the tension really hits the Republican Party itself. Right inside the halls of Congress, President Trump's allies are crystal clear. Powell must go. They say that the Fed chair has sabotaged a sitting president's agenda, lied under oath, spent billions without accountability, and not everyone agrees, though. What you have here is you've got moderate Republicans, so-called institutional defenders. They're sounding the alarm, believe it or not. Okay, they're saying removing Jerome Powell could spook the markets, create instability, and violate the Fed's so-called independence. So let's go ahead and ask the real question. Is it better to protect the image of stability or protect the truth? Because what kind of independent institution hides a rooftop garden in a $2.5 billion taxpayer-funded upgrade and then lies about it, right? That kind of stability lets one unelected man derail the president's plan to help retirees. Guys, is market stability worth tolerating lies and sabotage? Now, if the answer is yes, then maybe Washington deserves Powell. But if the answer is no, then Trump may need to do what no president's done before: fire a Fed chair midterm, not just for bad policy, but for dishonesty. And millions of Americans would cheer for him. I mean, now let's go ahead and zoom out just for a second and let's look at the bigger picture. This wasn't just Jerome Powell versus Trump. This is Main Street versus Wall Street, the people versus the planners, retirees versus the ruling class. Because under Jerome Powell's Fed, Wall Street got low interest rate loans. Okay, they got sky high returns. Main Street got high rates, tight credit, and collapsing affordability. First-time home buyers, they can't even get into the market. Small businesses can't grow. Seniors, they're watching their COLA increases vanish into the black hole of Fed policy. Meanwhile, President Trump's economic plan is actually working. Tariff revenue hit $27 billion just last month, creating a budget surplus. That surplus, ladies and gentlemen, is being used to shore up Social Security, fund senior tax deductions, and cut debt. Trump is bypassing the globalists and delivering for the American people. And Powell, well, let's just say he's resisting every step of the way. Not because he has a better plan, but because he's defending the financial elite. So do you stand with Trump and the working class, or do you stand with Powell and the financial elite? This isn't complicated. I mean, you got one man fighting for your freedom and financial dignity, and another that's hiding behind the Fed's logo while he decorates his rooftop office with your tax dollars. Let's just go ahead and put everything on the table, guys. President Donald J. Trump is fighting for seniors, cutting taxes, increasing Social Security, and delivering a real economic surplus off the backs of global trade deals that actually benefit Americans. Meanwhile, Jerome Powell has lied under oath about a $2.5 billion luxury renovation at the Federal Reserve, publicly denied the existence of rooftop gardens and VIP dining rooms that documents are now proving were real, sent misleading letters to Congress and the OMB, refused to lower interest rates even as inflation eases, directly undermining the relief that Trump just passed, triggering a criminal referral for perjury. This is an offense that carries up to 5 years in prison per count. So here it is. If any other American were to lie to Congress, wouldn't they face charges? If you or me signed off on a $2.5 billion project and lied about it and then quietly tried to cover it up, would we still have a job? Should the man that's in charge of the U.S. financial system be allowed to stay if the evidence says that he lied and covered up waste while seniors were scraping by? Because if we let Jerome Powell stay in power after all of this, then what are we really saying? Well, I'll tell you what we're saying. What we're really saying is that the elites play by different rules. Accountability doesn't apply to central bankers, and truth only matters if it's convenient for the system. But that's not the America President Trump is fighting for. That's not the America you deserve. So I'm asking you directly, should a Fed chair go to prison for lying about a $2.5 billion taxpayer project? Now, if your answer is yes, and you stand with President Trump's mission to drain the swamp once and for all, type 47 in the comments right now. Now, if you believe Powell deserves to finish his term, type P. Let the world see where you stand. And if you believe President Trump's Social Security win matters, that seniors deserve better, and that no one is above the law, smash the like button, guys. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Share this video with someone who still thinks the Fed works for the people, because they deserve to know the truth. Because this fight, it's not over, guys. Trump is just getting started, and Jerome Powell, he may have just run out of time. I'll see you guys on the next video.